Hello everybody, my name is Hayley and look at what we've got here. So if you are not following me on Snapchat or Instagram, Twitter, everything else, you may not know that I have a new do. And with that new do came way more questions than I ever expected. I have honestly no idea why, because I think it's pretty clear that I am not a hair expert. But I did get a lot of questions after I dyed my hair a new shade of red. I don't know how it's going to come off on camera yet because I haven't seen this footage yet. But today I'm going to be answering some questions that I saw on my last hair care video, which I will link below in the description box below and the card up here in the corner if you want to go check that out there. I still use like 99% of the products in that video. The only thing that's really different is that I'm using a different hair color, well, a different shade of hair color, still from the same brand that I previously used. Basically, to catch you guys all up on everything that's been going on, the previous shade of red that I'd been using for a really long time was just way too orange on me. So if you guys didn't know, I bleached my whole head in 2015, went pillar box red all over, kept that I kept it for like 6 to 7 months. I got a job at the time that did not allow me to have that hair color anymore, so because I really need the job and I really need the money, I dyed my hair a blue-black color that was supposed to be black, but it came out very blue. That faded to a purpley silvery black color, which I dyed regular black. That faded to black-brown, dyed my hair black again, faded to black-brown, then I dyed my hair burgundy. Then after that I got a different job where I could go back to red hair, so I did color mover on that, bleached my whole head again, bleached my hair a little bit again just because there was like a banding here where it was too dark and I still had roots. Then I went all over pillar box red again, and that's where my hair was a couple months ago. I went back in 2016, so a little bit over almost 2 years after going back to red. It's been this constant just cycle of orange. Every time I would dye my hair, it would come out like I like reds to be very like true blue or pink based. Especially, you find this especially a lot in the lipsticks that I wear. If you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, link in the description. That's my personal favorite kind of red, and I think it looks very flattering on my skin tone. And I realized like in some of the months after I went back to red, like my original red, that my hair was just really orange based. I found that other people had this experience with pillar box red when they first tried it, but I didn't have this experience, or at least maybe I didn't realize I had that experience the first time I went red before I went through all those other black dye processes. However, because even though I had made like a giant hair change, like when I went black I did it for a job reason and I felt very not good about it. And I tried to do burgundy again eventually to try and get that that feeling of red hair again. But that's when I asked my boss at the time if I could just go back to red, because it just felt so horrible not having a hair color that I loved and truly that I felt represented me. And my friends noticed too. Ask anybody who knew me then, they would agree that it was just very strange for me not to have my hair. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm not used to it, like I acted extremely different. So because of that, after going through such change and after working so hard to get back to my red hair in the first place, I didn't feel comfortable experiencing with other red shades whatsoever, even within the same brand that I've been using. So I would just keep dyeing my hair pillar box red and I would fade orange, and I'm like, you know, that's just how red hair is. I was just used to it, but I was just getting so sick of it because every time my hair faded I didn't want to do my hair. I just felt not confident. So this last time around, actually it was Eric who pointed it out, I felt like that within this last 2 months, I didn't dye my hair for 2 months, and usually that's never on purpose, but in this way it kind of was. I just didn't have the motivation to put something that I knew was going to turn out really, really orange back on my head. But I still felt a little nervous about experimenting, so I'm like, I don't know what to do. And Eric pointed out to me, he's like, you don't seem like yourself, you don't seem like very confident, you don't seem like you're being very artistic, because I wasn't wearing makeup a lot, I wasn't doing my hair, I was not putting as much effort into myself that I really feel like I should have been. And after he said that to me, and first he wasn't saying that to hurt my feelings, I don't want that to come across the wrong way, but he was just like telling me that like he was concerned. And after I thought about it for a while, I'm like, yeah, like, you're totally right. Because the feeling, like, I was just dreading the idea of putting something so orange just back on my hair, even though that had been my comfort zone very, very, very long time. It just wasn't my comfort zone anymore. So that's when I began to consider dyeing my hair a little bit darker, because in order to have very, very bright red hair, the brightness does come mainly from an orange tone in these red hair dyes. So I wanted to give that as a warning to a lot of you. If you're trying to go for the brightest red, just be aware you're gonna get a lot of orange. So I thought about this for a little bit, and I actually asked my dear friend Natalie, who I'm sure you all know and love. So I've been dyeing Natalie's hair actually since like right around when we first met. I've dyed her bangs turquoise, I did all black on her at one point. We did the bottom tips purple, we did the bottom tips blue, we did the bottom tips red for a while. And when we did the this black to ombre red, the red we used on her was Manic Panic Vampire Red. She told me that she wanted black to red ombre, but she didn't want my red. She knew that like my red was orange based, and I told her like we could do that or we could try something else. So we found Vampire Red, and it was beautiful on her. Eventually she did her whole head Vampire Red. Right now she currently is all over blue. So when I was considering maybe going a little bit of a darker red so I don't have as much orange tones, I remembered when we were doing Vampire Red on her, it was very pink magenta based, and I don't think I'll ever have pink hair. You will not find, I don't even own a pink blush, and I know that's weird. I own very corally blushes. I don't own any pinky tone blushes. I own one pink lipstick and it's barely even pink. Because I have a lot of already natural like pink hues to my skin, I feel like that can aggravate it. But then I'm sure some people are like, well, you have red hair, so it's only gonna do that. Well, like, I live my life, okay? So when I thought about what red could I possibly go, and another part is that I still want to stick to a vegan semi-permanent hair dye. When people stop telling me to stop dyeing my hair, like basically, like you know how on box dye instructions, like if you're doing a root touch-up, you do your roots first, wait like 20 minutes, and then you do the rest of your lengths? That's because of developer in the hair dye, because that developer in permanent hair colors are penetrating, and if they just penetrate way longer than they should, that's when you can really fuck up your hair. Which is why I really like to stick to vegan semi-permanent dyes, because they're built with the conditioner, they don't require developer, it's just way healthier for a way to color your hair. I decided that I still wanted to stick with Manic Panic, and I'm going to be answering some questions that I've gotten throughout my time being a redhead about the brand itself and how I've used their hair dyes, because ever since I started doing this, I saw a lot of you guys on Instagram, well by a lot I mean like 3 of you, and a close friend of mine were embarking on their own hair makeovers using Manic Panic, and some of you were successful, some others had some trouble and were asking me for help and advice. So I'm also going to put that in this video, and of course I'll be discussing like what I did overall. So I decided Vampire Red, and also part of the reason that I wanted to switch from Pillar Box Red is that it is the thickest shit in the universe. It is the thickest hair dye that I've ever used, not just on myself, because I've used other hair dyes on my other friends, but it's the thickest thing in the goddamn universe. I've seen, this is thicker than like butter. And I know that Manic Panic dyes are a lot like that because again, they're built with deep conditioners, they're really good for your hair as far as conditioning goes. And I did appreciate that part of it because it did really condition my hair, but just when you have thick hair and thick dye, it's just so hard to spread that throughout your hair. So I'd have to buy like 4 to 5 pots. Like if I did my hair with Pillar Box Red one more time, I would need 5 pots to just cover my whole head. And I am not spending that much money. I can't. Your girl's broke. So I knew Vampire Red was like almost a pure liquid, so that's why I switched over partly to that as well. So it took 3 pots of Vampire Red to cover my whole head. I usually like to take 1 pot to cover my bleached roots, and then the rest through the lengths and tips. Also, something I want to point out, a lot of people were asking me if, I guess people who hadn't been around for long, if I bleached any part of my hair. So I bleached my roots. I would do that anyways, no matter what I was doing to have a bright color result. However, I did not bleach anything but my roots. My hair from my roots, well previously down, was just the faded Pillar Box Red on my hair that was already bleached. I have not bleached my entire head since I went back to red, and I've only bleached my entire head twice. When I first went to red and then when I went back to red. I think that's part of the reason why like my hair is still in good condition, because I haven't put developer on my head in, again, since the last time that I bleached my, well, I do when I bleach my roots, but like on my whole head since I went back. So the cool part about Manic Panic being a vegan semi-permanent dye is that you could literally sleep in it if you want. It will really, really condition your hair, and the longer you have Manic Panic on your hair, the longer the color will last and the better it will look. So when I was doing Pillar Box Red, like I usually like to plan my hair dye days around like a day that I know that I don't have to go anywhere, a day that I know that I can just literally sit at home and let hair dye soak in my head. I think the longest I ever went with Pillar Box Red on my hair was 7.5 hours. However, I was awake during that, I want to point out. I would suggest if you are going to sleep in Manic Panic, obviously wrap your hair up. Put down maybe a pillowcase that you don't care about. I have white bedding, so obviously that would be a real fucking mess if I did that. Maybe grab a pillow you don't care about, grab the hair dye towel that maybe you can use to put on top of your pillow that you don't care about. They said that it develops in at least 30 minutes, but I recommend at least doing 1 to 2 hours if you have the time. it will just really matter. You don't have to go 8 hours to get a really great result. I think 1 to 2 hours would be a good place for beginners to start off with, but of course you can go as long as you want. Again, you should do at least 30 minutes. So the question was that, how did I get it to come out so evenly when I had like pink up here, orange down here, and like bright yellow roots? Part of it I think was that I did leave it on for a very long time to help in that regard, but I think it's also because I've had the perfect base basically for a color like Vampire Red. Again, Vampire Red is very pink based, so I already had like a pink banding up here that was ready for that, and I think it just meshed well with the color that I already had at the ends of my hair. Some people were asking me, since I just did a hair color change, has my hair texture changed at all? And the answer is my hair texture has been improving in the last couple of months. I did get a haircut in, I want to say either February or March. I got layers put in, I had some facial profiling. It's easier to see when my hair is straightened, but this is right now my natural hair texture. Some people were asking me like, how do I keep my hair soft and healthy? And again, I have a whole hair care routine, but I wanted to throw in like 3 things that I do. The newest thing that I've added is the Pantene Overnight Miracle Repair and Protect Serum. This has helped so much in my hair texture. Some people asked me when I mentioned this in another video, they asked me on Instagram, could I use this during the day if I wanted to? And I honestly don't know the answer to that, but I would just stick to the directions and use this only at night because, and I know this to be true with some certain skincare products, ones that say like nighttime only or like overnight whatever, you really should only use at night because those really important ingredients that are in those products, they will absolutely not work or could even harm your skin if they're exposed to sunlight. I don't know if that's the same case with this, but because I know that, I would just stick to any product that says overnight or nighttime. I would just stick to using it during nighttime only. With that being said, it smells really good. It has a pump. It's very affordable. There's always a Pantene coupon somewhere on the internet or newspaper or something. And it really has helped, and I love it. Also, I love that this does not leave a residue on your hair, and you can use this on wet and dry hair, so get to it. Also, another product I've been using forever, L'Oreal Total Repair 5 Damage Erasing Balm. This is the new packaging. This is mainly what I give credit to for keeping my hair healthy. So if you're gonna bleach your hair, color it, whatever, and you're afraid of damage, go get this stuff. It will save your life. I've talked about it a million times. Again, I'll link my hair care video down below where I suck and stick a lot more. But yeah, I adore this stuff, and I would freak out if it would disappear. But I love it, and I doubt it's gonna happen anytime soon because I'm not the only person who loves this shit. And also, what I like to use to help seal color in, again, on After Color Sealer, super deep conditioning, seals all the hair color in, smells really great, super affordable, always on sale at Sally's Beauty Supply. Link to every product I'm talking about in the description box down below. Also, the thing I will mention here that just helps if you are trying to skip washing days or you really want to help like excel your conditioner and deep conditioners, get a shower cap. This one has cherries on it because I like to think of how cute I am. I actually had this for a while. You don't have to get this one specifically. Obviously, get a whatever shower cap you want. I would suggest getting a reusable one just so you don't have to keep buying shower caps over and over again. It's better for the environment. This one that I have, I will link down below in the description box. I got it off Amazon. And of course, how can I not talk about hair without mentioning the greatest thing to mankind? I think I'm gonna get a new one soon because I already hated the color of this, and now it's covered in blue dye stains from when I was dyeing my friend's hair. The paint's chipping off, and just, I hate the color of this brush. But it still works, and I recommend it to every human in existence. Last question that I'm gonna answer in this video is, how long do I plan to keep this specific color now that I have gone out of my realm? Or how does this hair fade? And I've only had this hair for a week, so I can't really tell you how it's fade. I've only washed my hair once since I've done this, and it looks exactly the same since I washed it. If you want to see before and after pictures, you can go to my Instagram profile, and in my hair highlights category, the whole process is there. But I have a good feeling that this is gonna last a really long time because this lasted really well on Natalie, and again, there's literally no difference since I shampooed my hair once using this. If you have any more questions about Manic Panic itself, like how to get it to look more even, how to make it last as long as possible, or if you just want to look at the colors that they have, I will link their website down below. They have a ton of information to answer basically every question that you could possibly have. And they have tips on how to get hair dye stains out, if they like specific instructions maybe for a certain dye, like for example Rockabilly Blue has its own like specific notes to have with it. Tips on how to make it last longer, how to use their products. They also sell lipsticks and other stuff, so again, I'll have them linked down below. I'm really, really happy to be back on YouTube, and the whole reason I was not filming is because I felt like garbage and my hair looked like garbage, but now it doesn't, and I'm super happy about it, and I'm super happy that you guys love it too. If you did like this video or you found anything in this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and of course, if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button down below along with the bell so you see every time I post a new video, whatever it may be. I have a whole playlist of every single time that I've talked about hair, and I will also leave that in the description box down below. And of course, my name's Hayley. This is a video on my channel. I don't know how to do an outro, but I'm happy to be back, and I will see you guys in my next video, and I love you so much. Bye bye!